Hello, welcome to the fifth video of the Microsoft Access 2013 tutorial to create a project review form. In this video, we're going to create sublevel forms and embed those forms in a main or a hosting form and change some of the properties. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a query to link the parent and the child forms, and that means that this subform is going to be based on a query which is going to link these two tables, the lower level information table with the project level table. And that is necessary because in that way we can make sure that when people try to use this form and select a record there, all the information in these two subforms and the tables behind are displaying the same the information for the same record. So these are going to be synchronized. That's what we want to make sure. Okay, let's go to modify our forms. So this is the file that we were working on, and we're going to create a query. So we go to create query design, and we're going to bring the RI portfolio, which is the main data set, and the table for this particular form, which is the table subvideos. So we're going to add those. We have a one-to-many relation, and we only need to bring all the information. Double click here, okay, too many times, of the table subvideos. Now we have that, we close it, we put a name. This is the QRY subvideos, subvideos. Okay, now that we have that, we close it, we step on the subvideos query, and we create a form. This form is going to be a multiple items form. In this way, I can display different rows for all the subvideos associated to a single project. So we click on selected items, on multiple items, and here is the automatic form. But I don't want to see, for example, the subvideo ID. Nobody cares about subvideo ID. So I'm going to select these two. The project ID. The project ID is also already linked to the main forms. I mean, that's what we are trying to do. So we don't want to display this information. It will be repeated. So I'm going to select these two, right click, and I'm going to delete the corresponding columns. And I have what I want, the video field, the efficacy rating that people will have to choose, and the yes no questions for the types that we define here. These are just some random variables that we created here just to show how it works. Now we save, and this is subform subvideos. We click OK, and now what we want to do is to integrate all these forms in one single form. So the hosting form is the form objectives. We open it, and then we go to design. In the design, we're going to make room first for our subforms, and I want people to see the subform review first. So we want to include that through design, and this tool here is subform. So we want to embed the subform in the form. So we click on it, and we just click, and we got it there. So we use an existing form. The existing form is review. Click on next. This is the relation between the two forms, the main form and the subform, or the parent and the child. So we're going to define our own relation, and that relation is defined by the project ID. Right? So the parent is project ID, and the child is also project ID. We click next, and we define a name which is the same, so we just go to finish, and there we have our subform review. We're going to repeat the process for the additional project info, which is our data entry form. We go again to subforms and we click where we want to add this form, and this is additional project info. So we go to next. Again, we define our own relation, this project ID to project ID. Next, the subform has already a name, so we finish. And finally, I want to bring the last subform, which is the superiors form. So I repeat the process. I go to design, the subform embedding tool. I use an existing form. This is the superiors form. Click on next. I will define my own form, my own relation. This project ID to project ID. Remember, this is the second ID, the second variable in that subform and table. And I click on finish, and then I have everything I wanted. Finally, I want to see a little bit more of this last form. Okay, I'm gonna delete these labels because I already have a title, so I don't want those. I don't want this icon either. So, okay, I didn't change this, so I'm going to change it right now. I want this to be called superiors, and I don't want to see this, so I just select it and press delete. That's it, and I have everything I wanted. This thing that you see here is just property sheet where I can see all the characteristics of each of the objects being displayed in this form. So if I click here and you see this black square, it means that I'm selected that subform, and therefore I can modify things there. So we will use this in a second. I just want you to see the main form. So I just saved it, and I will click here to go to the form view. So here we have our project. This is the information for that project. This is the information that I want to people to enter, and this is the list of superiors. So when people put some information here and select efficacy rating here and some yes no questions, automatically Access will display another row for new record, so they can create as many records as they want for each of the superiors, but they're still working in this project. And if I click here, as you can see, everything is linked, and the information displayed here and here as well is for the new project ID. You will see that this will change as I move from one record to another, and this as well. Okay, as you see here, information is different, so it's working. So I don't want to see these arrows here, which are the record selectors. I don't want to see this arrow here either. I don't want to see this because it's just repetitive, and the one I do really care is this one, and I don't even want to see this one. And these scroll bars are not playing any role here because I just use the standard size, which is the one of the subform, so it just works well. So I'm going to hide all those. So for that, I need to go to the design view. And in the design view, I'm going to change the properties of each of the forms. So for the main form, I just clicked on it. You will see that you have selected the form. And for that, I'm not going to change much. It's only the record selector. So you can see here in the format tab that the record selector is yes. So I will change it to no because I don't want to see it. I'm gonna leave the scroll bars. And regarding the navigation buttons, I don't want to see them either. So I don't want to see the arrow, or I don't want to see the arrows here either, and I don't want to see this, and I do want to see the scroll bars. So change a bit. I'm going to select this review subform. I'm going to do the same thing. So I don't want to see this, I don't want to see the record selector, and I don't want to see scroll bars. Okay, I repeat the process with the additional project info. So you click this, change to no, I change to no, sorry, to no, and for scroll bars, neither. And finally, for this last one, I do want to see the navigation, sorry, the record selector. The record selector is going to be a yes. Let me select it first. We were not in the right object. Now we are in the form. So we go to record selector, and I want to see it. So I will leave it as yes. And that is important because in that way I can select the whole record and delete it, for example, if I don't want to see it. I mean, if I want to actually erase that information from the data set. The navigation buttons, I don't want to see them. And regarding the scroll bars, I do, because this form might be too long. Maybe not right now, but later. So I want to leave those. So I will save. I will go to view again, and as you can see, there are no scroll bars in these subforms. There are no record selectors, and there are no navigation bars. So this is what I wanted to do. Now we're going to start working with these forms, and I will show you how this works for data entry. The next video will be about creating a portfolio where I can select a project I want to work with, so that it takes me directly to the project ID that I'm working in, and it displays all the information relevant, and where I can put all the information that I'm collecting for that project. Thank you so much, and join me in the next video.